Okay guys, so the first two videos are really setting the stage. We really talked about this idea of metabolic uniqueness. Then we talked a little bit about psychology and how your unique psychology determines an awful lot about whether you have willpower or not, and the way you structure your life to kind of empower or drain this willpower battery is very important. Those are two insight type videos, not a whole lot of to-dos there, but they matter a ton, and I hope by listening to them you sort of understand, wow, there's this idea of structured flexibility and metabolic uniqueness, a place where I start that I then can adapt, and then there's this idea of skill power over willpower, and this insight that I have these three batteries, the emotional battery, the mental or cognitive battery, and the physical battery, that I must have balanced and charged up if I hope to have willpower, so that willpower is really more about skill power. Now the next piece here is this idea of personal preferences. And I have Metabolic Effects 5 key areas of expertise up here on the board. Not really our areas of expertise, but really are the 5 factors that define who we are as a company. And they're the perfect thing to go over right now in this personal preference piece of the puzzle. Because what you need to do is you need to find all these elements and fit them together like jigsaw pieces according to your personal preferences, how you live your life. And I want to go through these 5 elements because they're absolutely critical, and they're going to set the stage pretty much for everything else we do actually in this training. The first one here is this idea that it's all about me, meaning you. It's all about me. And what that means is this: you are going to be out in the world, and you're going to be reading newspaper clippings, and you're going to be reading online from your favorite guru, and you're going to be on Facebook, and you're going to be talking to friends at parties, and all this information is going to be coming at you. Things like meat is bad, things like fish oil will kill you, things like make sure you eat plenty of saturated fat, other people telling you don't eat saturated fat, some people telling you carbohydrates are fantastic, other people telling you they'll make you sick and fat, and all this information. And the truth of the matter is, if you took special care to pay attention to video 1, you should now know that all that information that's being fed to you may or may not apply to you, and it's up to you to figure that out. So everything you hear, including what you hear from me throughout the rest of this training, needs to be filtered through your metabolic uniqueness, your psychological sensitivities, and your personal preferences. If it does not work for you, then do not do it. There's only one rule that we believe is the dominant factor in everything, and that is do what works for you. Find it, practice it, master it. Do what works for you. Everything needs to be filtered through this all about me scenario. The second thing here is this idea of fat loss foods. Now, let's be clear, and you're going to get into this in this training. There are no magical foods that have fat loss properties. I hope, if nothing else, you get out of this training, you understand that that is a gimmick sort of that people throw at you, like eat these foods, they burn fat. No, all foods have calories. All foods, if you eat too much of them, will make you store fat. Even if you could eat, 5,000 bucket loads of broccoli, if you ate enough, you would probably store fat. The fact of the matter is that you can't overeat broccoli. It's almost impossible to overeat chicken breast. There's certain foods that balance your hunger, stabilize your energy, and reduce cravings. Those foods are fat loss foods. Now, within those foods, you're going to have some that you love and some that you don't. You're going to have personal preferences. Me personally, I love broccoli. I love Brussels sprouts. I love kale and chard. I can't stand spinach. I don't like lima beans. I don't like those kinds of things. I don't like a whole lot of fatty meats and things like that. I'm going to eat these fat loss foods according to my desire. If broccoli is the only vegetable you like, then that's going to be the one you eat. And so this idea that you have to completely rearrange your life to fit an ideal of foods is not true. Remember your personal preferences. Eat the foods that are fat loss foods that you like and will incorporate. If you don't like them, you're not going to eat them. That being said, it is always a good idea to introduce new foods every now and then, because research shows us that you need about 300 exposures to food before you really know if you like it. So if you don't like broccoli, maybe try it every now and then, and you'll find that you may like it. The other idea here is efficient exercise. Now, this is a personal preference piece too, because some people love exercise and some people do not love exercise. You may find that, hey Jade, what I want to do is I want to walk, and that's what I want to do, and I'll lift weights every now and then. Some of you might say, you know, Jade, I'm an endurance person. I love endurance sports. I'm going to be out there doing my triathletes and that kind of stuff. Some of you are CrossFitters. Some of you, are athletes and like to do sprinting and things like that. Some of you like to do these mud runs. That is all fine. Some of you are yogis and like to do Tai Chi. The idea here is with efficient exercise is just to understand that you are going to have a base of exercise that you love and that you will do. If it's walking every single day, fantastic. But the idea is to do enough exercise and the right type of exercise to get the results you want and that fit in your personal preferences and no more, right? And no more. You don't have to go crazy with exercise. Lifestyle is a big one. Some people are morning people. Some people are nighttime people. Some people like to have multiple meals. Some people only a few. And this stuff gets so overwhelming when you look out there in the world of nutrition and exercise, because everyone's saying, oh, you should eat more frequently, or oh, you should not eat frequently. Now you should do intermittent fasting. Oh, you should do this or that. You should do keto diets. The truth of the matter is you may do wonderfully on 6 meals per day, and you burn fat, and you have high energy, and your hunger is in check, and your cravings are not an issue. Someone else may do fantastic on an alternate day fasting plan. They eat one day, and they don't eat the next. It is absolutely ludicrous to suggest to people that there's one way to do this. The idea is that you can burn fat multiple ways, and it needs to fit how you like things. It needs to do and respond to the way you live your life. Now, here's the other piece here. Fat loss happens anywhere. There's going to be people to tell you, oh, you have to have only organic broccoli and wild-caught salmon from Whole Foods if you want to burn fat. Oh, you can never have synthetic sweeteners. Aspartame is the devil and will kill you, and all these kinds of things. Now, it is true, I'm a natural health care provider, so my bias is always for real food. However, the idea that some people are going to get poisoned by having Splenda or a Diet Coke every now and then simply is not the case. Would I want you to have that? No. Do I think it's good for you? No, but that is my bias. Some of you may do absolutely fine with that. Some of you may not. Fat loss happens anywhere. You can eat out. I eat out quite a bit, and I can still stay lean and get lean even when I'm trying by eating out because I know how to do this. And so the purpose of this video is this. You are unique, and your personal preferences matter, and they matter a ton. Right? They matter a ton. If you do not like what you're doing, you're never going to be able to create a program that works for you. So let's wrap up this sort of first part. And I know this is just insight-based. We're going to get into some of the details soon with what are fat loss foods, what type of exercise, what kind of lifestyle changes, that kind of thing. But here's what you need to know. Structured flexibility, right? That is the key piece here. With your metabolism, with your psychology, and with your personal preferences. Where I would start is, 1, do the questionnaire in the Metabolic Effect book. Start with either the mixed burner, muscle burner, or sugar burner plan, and know you're going to begin to tweak that according to your needs, based on hunger, energy, and cravings, and whether you're getting fat loss results or not. The other piece that you want is you want to look into your life and balance out these psychological elements. Where do you need to charge up your batteries? Is your emotional battery drained? Is your physical battery drained? Is your mental battery drained? How are you going to charge those up to charge up your willpower battery? And then how are you going to design your life according to the things you like, the personal preferences of you? Not what other people are telling you, but what you are doing. And understanding that, hey, yes, you're going to have to make changes, but they don't have to be the way I did it, or the way someone else did it, the way Jared does it, where he basically has a Subway sandwich, and a regular meal. You do it your way. Let's get started with the rest of the training. These 3 videos are absolutely critical. I know they're insight-based, but everything has to come around this. Structured flexibility. Get your structure, tweak it to you.